Chapter 1. What comes from the inside. The soul is a mystery. It is that which we have, but we cannot see. It is the seat of our mind, of our emotions, and most of all, it is the seat of our heart, where love manifests effortlessly, in a complete and undisturbed way, when the body is healthy and the soul is clean. The soul is what guides us throughout our whole life, making us understand our life lessons, and also making us rejoice in the good experiences of our life. So in order to experience life in the truest and clean way possible, we need to keep our soul clean, clean of all the impurities of the world that might bias us to think otherwise, so we can be able to get through our path in life on the good road. In order to do so or to be so, one needs to work with a true heart, one needs to take part in community to help others, and most of all, practice on his spiritual path. Everybody knows that the smile or the expression on our faces never lies. A sincere smile can always make up for 1,000 words or 50 bouquets of flowers. The happiness that a smile brings is undeniable, and the place that will make our smile happen lies right inside of us, in our souls, in our hearts, and in our minds. The more happy we may become, the more we can be able to show with ease a smile on our face, and, with time, the broader that smile can become. You can say that the smile can come from the depths of our souls, of our happy and clean hearts, but you can always smile at will just because you want to, and you can also find innumerable things in our world out of which you can put up a happy smile for the world to see. By being anchored more in our soul every day, we can discover with ease the inner us, that deeper part of our being, that which we really are, or the core of our own being. The inside of a human being is like a temple, tall, clear, cool, and sacred. The soul, or our temple, hosts in it all our virtues and hard-earned values of the world, and also all our spiritual assets. It is the place in which we hold all our sacredness, love, compassion, and kindness that we can address towards the world through our thinking, words, or doing. It is the place where love forms, where our clean and true emotions form. It is the place that we need to keep intact, clean and tidy by cleaning out every day the weeds that can form in our hearts, and also the many unnecessary thoughts in our minds that pollute the clean expression of our soul. Inside ourselves lies our happiness, but also our misfortune. Depending on how we act in this world, we can experience happiness or sadness, but most of all, we can experience life in all its might. Some experiences will come to us as lessons from which we can learn how to behave in certain situations or understand aspects of life that we can use later on our path. Or they can come as happy moments that we usually share with our family and friends and rejoice in them. Being courageous to understand all our sad instants will swiftly transmute them into wisdom, and thus will once again clean our inner temple out of the weeds that might form during the time. A clear heart is always an incentive for a sincere smile, but a clear heart might be obstructed by many things, and thus it can be blocking our freedom, blocking the simple act of being able to smile or feel love. There are two things that can keep our hearts blocked and our minds busy: the tendency of having the burden of the so many things we need to do on our minds, and the unmanifested desires which usually block our hearts. The tendency of having the burden of the so many things that we need to do, that we plan to do, or that might need our attention is making our minds scatter in so many directions. We always need to keep our minds focused, usually on just one thing at a time, and if possible clear of all unnecessary thought. So when we notice we have this burden of the so many things, we need to just shake our head, metaphorically speaking, and look to anything that can root us in the present moment, just to remind us of the precise aspect of the present moment. We need to see the difference between doing one of the things we need to do today and then doing the following one, and thinking about all the things we need to do today. The latter puts a lot of pressure on ourselves, and it is a non productive thing to do. We always need to finish up a certain amount of items during one of our days, but constantly thinking about them, how we will do them, and making detailed maps of each of one in our minds will take our attention from the present moment and will make us feel covered in problems. The second thing that obstructs our hearts, the unmanifested things that we wished for such a long time, can also be a hindrance for us, because through constant desire we are bound or attached to them through unseen and invisible cords. Having and feeling the burden of our desires is most of the time hardening our hearts, making our lives miserable, and making us not see the true and simple life that is inside and around us. We can think about ourselves at some point that we are not worthy of having all these things that we desire and that we don't have yet, thus making our self-esteem lower than it should be. We can think that we are not worthy to have them because we could not manifest the things that we wanted so much yet in our lives, but we also must be aware that things usually manifest in their own time, and sometimes a thing that has not manifested yet in our lives, even if we wanted it so badly, is better left like that, because it could have hurt us more by having it in the long run. Everything in our lives has a reason to manifest, and we need to be aware that what we presently have is exactly what we need at any given point in life. It is only by being mindful and rooted in our strong core and having gratitude for the things that we already have that will help manifest the happiness that we need, and that will also make possible for the other things that we might need to begin manifesting in our lives. Liberating ourselves from these cords of attachment that desire brings can bring our long lost freedom, which will bring again our simple smile on our faces. The liberation of the things that we wished for and that never happened can be done through mindful acceptance and through realizing that we don't need anything else than what we have to make us happy right now in this very moment. The present moment itself can make anyone happy by default if we look with gratitude at it and at all the things that we presently have. So constant desire can be one of the very things that keep us away from showing our beautiful smile and from manifesting in our lives the wealth that we need. We all know that resting more in the depth of our souls can help bring up memories, hurt, and sadness that happened a long time ago, which we buried deep down in our souls as a way to cope and defend ourselves from the emotional pain that these events have generated. That's why, when we rest deep in our souls, say in a meditation session, we sometimes sigh. This is a clear sign that the old emotions are being brought up and released. A short smile of contentment starts to show after each sigh, letting us know that a stored emotion had been released and that we are healed emotionally gradually of long-time memories. We can keep that smile for as long as we want and feel our hearts getting lighter and lighter, as the power of our smile is undeniably a true balm in healing our hearts. The act of remembering to smile is thus paramount. It is very important for us not to forget to smile in our day from time to time. Forgetting to smile is just like you are forgetting about how beautiful life is or can be. As there are countless reasons for you to smile, there are countless reasons for you to be happy. Saying that it's not necessary to smile, saying that a smile is just transitory and non essential, is like saying that love exists as only a temporary thing. Thinking this way will make your life soon become miserable because you just acknowledge transitory moments of happiness and you don't really feel the love that is available all the time in this particular moment, in the present moment. The undeniable fact is that love and happiness are part of our lives, such as sadness is. For both, we apply the same technique. We sit with it. We apply much awareness on what we feel and just sit with it, be it sadness or happiness. If it's happiness, we rejoice in it, and if it's sadness, we sit with it so it can have the time to clean up by being mindful and by accepting it in the present moment or by gently applying awareness to this particular way in which we feel. So, the non resistant aspect of being in the present moment and taking in whatever life offers us with mindfulness and forgiveness will always make us happy just because we are, just because we exist. Soon, every sad aspect of our lives will transmute into seriosity, truthfulness, wisdom, and calmness, which can give rise, gradually, to virtues such as discernment, patience, and acceptance. This way, every happy aspect of our lives will have the power to rise up and make us smile, as pure and simple aspects come from the depths of our being, from our minds, or from our hearts. In the next chapter, we will look at the smile which is coming out of the virtue of gratitude.